I'm still alive, and earlier this evening I watched The Grinch with my family. And possibly the most iconic thing about the Grinch special is the song You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, sung by Thurl Ravenscroft. And this is unlike every other Christmas song because it's essentially just a series of insults hurled at the Grinch, kind of like a diss track. And it got me thinking, if someone said any of these lyrics to me, how insulted would I be? So today we're gonna go through all 26 Grinch insults one by one and find out. Oh, and I changed my mind from earlier. Max is the most iconic part about the Grinch special. Alright, here we go.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Okay, it's the title insult and honestly a bit of a weak start. Yes, it's a famous line, but that does not matter here. I think if someone came up to me and said that I was a mean one, I'd just say, ah man, I'm sorry you feel that way, and then I'd move on. We're gonna go with 4 out of 10.
You really are a heel.
Bring it on! To my knowledge, a heel is typically a person who is playing the character of a bad guy. And that sounds like fun. This one's like not even an insult. I'm happy to play the bad guy once in a while, so 2 out of 10.
You're as cuddly as a cactus.
Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. This one's pretty creative. I don't think I'd be hurt by this insult necessarily, but I also wouldn't welcome it. Gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch.
Yes, this is what we are looking for. This one would legitimately insult me a bit. I like to pride myself on being charming, and I've met a couple eels in my day, and they've been anything but. This is gonna be a solid 8 out of 10.
You're a bad banana with a greasy black heel.
And now we're back to funny ones. I think I kind of look like a banana with a greasy black ear, so I'd honestly just be like, yeah, I see it too. I'm not really insulted, and if someone told me this, it would honestly make my day. So as an insult, it's gonna be a 3 out of 10.
You're a monster, Mr. Grinch.
Okay, this one's not bad. It's not terribly clever, but it also doesn't really feel silly. It's not specific, but it's also not something you ever want to be called outside of like Halloween. I would be confused, but also a little insulted, so I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Your heart's an empty hole.
How did you know? No, I'm just kidding. So this is an interesting one because I think it's a bit grandiose. My main emotion would just be confusion, so 4 out of 10.
Your brain is full of spiders.
Oh god, I do not want that visual in my head. As a severe arachnophobe, this one would definitely work. It's not so much a typical insult, but if I heard this, it would stick with me for the rest of the night. I think I'll give this one an 8 out of 10.
You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch.
Okay, this is the funniest one yet. You've got garlic in your soul, really? I think this is my new go-to insult. This is awesome. However, I would not be remotely insulted if someone said this to me, and I'd probably just fall over laughing. I'm sorry, but it's a loving 1 out of 10.
I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
This is another really interesting one because it has a fascinating implication. There's an expression, I wouldn't touch that with a 40-foot pole. But this is saying that you would touch the Grinch with a 40-foot pole, but not a 39.5. And I think it's almost a begrudging compliment, like saying it could be worse. So I'll give it a 3.95 out of 10.
You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch.
Ooh, vile, what a fun word. I'm actually curious, what does this mean specifically? Extremely unpleasant, morally bad, or wicked? Okay, it's definitely a little insulting. I wouldn't like to be called this, but again, not super specific. 5 out of 10.
You have termites in your smile.
Oh my gosh, what do I do? This is just like the spider one. It would really stick with me. And my smile is already awkward enough, as you can see by looking through pretty much any of my thumbnails. You know what? I'll give it 1 below the spider's insult. 7 out of 10.
You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
Okay, we're back to creative ones. Again, I like to think of myself as fairly nice, so telling me that I'm not sweet would definitely hurt. And if we've learned anything from Captain Hook, crocodiles are not tender, although they might find you to be. Again, I'll say 7 out of 10.
Given a choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile.
Building off the last one, saying that I am even worse than an unsweet, seasick crocodile. This is a good combo one, and I do think it makes the previous insult hurt a little more. So yeah, let's go with an 8 out of 10.
You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch.
I'm sorry, but that's really weak. It also just sounds so archaic. I mean, I wouldn't like to actively take pride in it like a few of the other ones, but this one's not going any higher than a 3 out of 10.
You're nasty, wasty skunk.
And we're immediately going to the dictionary. I have never heard the word wasty outside of this song. Okay, it means containing or yielding much waste. So basically telling me that I'm a nasty and wasteful skunk. Okay, I like it. I mean, it's a little insulting, but not too bad. 5 out of 10.
Your heart is full of unwashed socks.
Okay, I like this one. I just feel so bad for my heart. Look, there's always points for creativity, and this one is definitely up there. It's leaning a bit to the silly side to be that insulting, but I still would not want to hear this, so 6 out of 10.
Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch.
Somehow saying soul instead of heart feels much more personal. The last one just sort of felt like, oh, you stink, but this feels like you are a bad person at your core. Let's give it a 7 out of 10.
The 3 words that best describe you are as follows,
and I quote. Stink, stank, stunk. Okay, another funny one, but I think it might be a bit repetitive as an insult. I mean, as a joke, no notes, but what's the real difference between stank and stunk? Oh, Google! Okay, they're essentially the same thing, but stunk is a past participle, and I, of course, know what that means, but I don't have time to explain it here, so let's just move on for simplicity. Good joke, not a great insult, so 4 out of 10.
You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch.
Oh my gosh, I did not realize I would have to look up so many of these words. Okay, this one means a cruel, unkind, or dishonorable person. Okay, this sort of seems to be in the same category as calling someone vile or foul. Like, it's not that specific, but it's kind of insulting. I'll give it the same score I gave the vile one. 5 out of 10.
You're the king of sinful thoughts.
Why, Thurl Ravenscroft, why? Why so many weird words? Your voice is already deep enough, anything you say would sound cool. Okay, on this one I'm gonna guess what it means first. I'm gonna assume a sinful thought is just a real lazy bones. Someone who just doesn't really do anything. Alright, let's see if I'm right. The score is entirely based on this. A habitual drunkard? Okay, I was not close. This definitely would not be a great insult for me, as I have never and do not have any plans to drink, so 3 out of 10.
Your heart's a dead tomato splotch with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch.
Now that's a good one. I don't know, I really love how specific and detailed this one is. It's creative and I'd feel insulted, so you know what? 8 out of 10.
Your soul is an appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable.
Mangled up,
Tangled up knots.
This is the best one. I know we've still got 3 left, but I've heard this song before, so who cares? This is the best one. This is saying that your soul is so horrible that it's in a landfill full of the most condemnable items that are all mangled. What an insult. This is just incredible. 10 out of 10 all the way.
You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch, with a nauseous super nauseous.
Okay, anything that had to follow that last one was gonna be a bit rough. This is pretty much just a fancy way of saying that you make me really nauseous. I mean, it's fine, but it wouldn't annoy me that much. Jabs about my physical appearance matter way less to me, so like 5 out of 10.
You're a crooked, jerky jockey, and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch.
Alright, more old school wording. I'm pretty sure this means you're a horse carriage driver of questionable character, and your horse is even worse. And you know what? That's really creative. Not just insulting me, but my theoretical horse as well. Wait, and in the context of this song, would that be Max? Oh, if that's the case, I'm getting offended on behalf of the Grinch. 9 out of 10.
You're a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce.
Okay, this one's just calling me a sandwich. Not the most insulting note to end a song on. Funny, perhaps, but I don't think a sandwich is the most insulting food to call me, no matter what the toppings are. Broccoli, perhaps, or maybe tofu, but a sandwich? I'll give it a 5 out of 10 to end us off. So those are the lyrics of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, ranked by how much they insult me. There were some good ones, there were some bad ones, but they were all really funny. Honestly, I think any of these could make a decent insult. Anyway, this was super fun to do, and I've gained a new appreciation for this song. And I just have to thank Dr. Seuss for this, because I do not think anyone else could have written lyrics this ridiculous. But that is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. Be more creative with your own insults, and Nate, I'll see you tomorrow.